One-stop shop for letting out your inner gypsy. Join Denise Marsh as she brings on a variety of guests to share their artistic vision with the world.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Gypsy Soul. I'm Denise Marsh, your host, and it's so great to be back here. So we're going to do things a tiny bit different today, okay? I actually have some treats for you, and one of them is I'm going to be reading you a little bit of poetry in a few minutes. But before I do that, I wanted to talk to you about the month of February. So we all know that the month of February is very special, not just President's Day, but it's also the month of Valentine's Day. And it's a time for love and romance. And, you know, just not just love, romantic love, but also like love between friends, love for pets, you know, love for things. And one of the things I love is I love having you guys as my audience. And I know that I continue to thank you each and every episode, and I will continue to thank you because without you, I'm nothing. And I think that's the name of a book. But speaking of books, for the entire month of February, I'm going to be reading you poems from a book that I actually published, and it's on Amazon, and it's called Emotional Morse Code, Poems from Heartbreak to Healing. And when you look it up, you have to make sure that you look it up under Denise Irene Marsh, because there's a lot of Denise Marshes. So I would like to read a little bit to you. So it puts us in the love kind of mood. So every gypsy has their own outlet, and my outlet is writing. So I write lots and lots of poetry, romantic poetry, poetry about everyday conversations. So I broke my book up into segments. And one of the parts is heartbreak. Another part is in the pause. And another part is healing. And I wanted to actually read some of the happy poems to you today. We can maybe read some of the deeper poems next time, but I would like to read some of them to you. And the first poem that I'm going to read to you is in the section called Honeymoon, and it's called Reasons to Love. And that's what it looks like, so you can see. Reasons to love. Sometimes the smallest things in the smallest ways lift our hearts and give us grand reasons to feel most alive. Gazing into your eyes, I feel a pull, a gravity like no other, warm and inviting, a place I shall never want to leave. And yes, that was written about someone a while ago. He's not in the picture anymore, but it was written about him. But you probably have someone that you could dedicate that to. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a romantic partner, but I hope that you have that feeling towards someone, because it's a really beautiful feeling, even if it's a fleeting feeling. And I'm going to read you another one that's also from the honeymoon stage, and it's called Our Dance. And you guys know that I love to dance. That's one of my passions, so I kind of put together the poetry with the dance. And it's called Our Dance. Our Dance. In every word and every pause between my heart and your arms, waltzing in and out of a spotlight, where the world stops and it is just you and I, the moon and the sea, and your eyes smiling at me. So another romantic one. Hope you like that one. There's one more. Now, I know this is PG television. This is a little bit, I don't want to say R-rated. It's not X-rated, but you can use your imagination with this one. And I'm not telling you if it's autobiographical or not, but it is. Okay. It's called Rush. I, you, we. Hands, legs, arms. Wrapped up and cocooned. Pulsating in the rush, and your joy is my joy, is your joy. Now, if you like those poems, you can hear a bunch more if you go on Amazon, and you can order the book for yourself, for your friends, great Valentine's Day gift. But you will definitely be hearing more of these poems in the next couple of shows. So again, if you want to see it sooner or hear it sooner, go ahead and order your book. But before we go to a commercial break, I wanted to let you know that my guest today is very dear to my heart. She's a good friend, and she's also a romance author, which is perfect for the month of February. And her name is Sheila Fowler. You're going to love her as much as I love her, maybe even more. And she has a lot of exciting things to talk to you about today. So don't go anywhere. After a short commercial break, you'll get to meet Sheila Fowler. See you in a little while. Hang tight.
Hey there, have you heard of the new show Gypsy Soul? It's hosted by the one and only Denise Marsh. Listen in as she helps you release your inner gypsy. With the best in South Florida. With plenty of special guests. With their own talents to inspire your inner gypsy. Tune in every other Thursday on your preferred streaming platform.
And we're back. I hope everyone's still watching. We have such a special guest today. I'm so excited about her. Her name is Sheila Fowler. She's a good friend of mine. We actually met at a writing event that Heidi Hess kind of got us together with. She's an author. She's an author of, how do we talk about her books?
Paranormal?
Yeah, paranormal books. She's amazing. She's also one of my mentors. And Sheila and I met for the first time there. It was at a reading event in Boynton Beach. That's when we met. And Sheila was so cute because she made it like it was a celebrity. She said, I've always wanted to meet you. So she made me feel really good about myself. So now it's time to make her feel really good about herself. So here she is, Sheila Fowler.
Hi, nice to see you.
It's great
so
to
cool
see
to be
you.
here again. I love it.
I am so excited. And we have her books in the background. We also have some things that Sheila makes. She makes beautiful accessories. I'm just going to show them for a minute.
Yeah.
She makes anklets. And she makes bracelets. Oh, whoops. Oh, perfect.
There they are.
That was even better. Okay. And we have her books in the background too, and we'll talk more about that in a few minutes. But that's a great shot. I like that. Okay. So, Sheila, when did you start writing books?
It was kind of interesting. It was during COVID, and I'm in lockdown. I didn't know what to do. I'm working from home, and I have all this extra time, and all these stories started popping up in my head. So it was like June of 2020 was when I first started writing.
Right in the heart of the pandemic.
And that was the first book. Meet Virginia was the first book, and it just kept coming to me. I just kept writing it, and getting all these ideas of. I wanted to go to Scotland because
I wouldn't go to Scotland after I read that.
I know. But I wanted to go so bad, and we couldn't drive anywhere. We couldn't go anywhere, and I thought, well, this is my way of going to Scotland.
Yeah.
Is to write a book about it. So I started researching stuff online, and I tried to see, oh, well, maybe I can, catch up on what to do in Scotland. And then I found out there's this entire group of people in Dunedin, Florida, that are Scottish residents, and they came here to America, and that's where they settled, was in Dunedin. And I never knew that.
I didn't know that until I read the book, so I felt so smart after I read that.
I thought that was so cool. So I made, that's where she's from, that's where Virginia's from, and her family all moved there, and I loved that idea, and I found this out later on that my friend said, oh yeah, there's a big Scottish contingent.
But Sheila, you've never been to Scotland?
Never.
Because when I read the book, when I read Meet Virginia, I felt like you knew so much about Scotland. Like it was like you were there.
Yeah.
So you must have done great research.
I did, and I watched a lot of Outlander. I
haven't watched that yet. That's next.
That's next. But when I don't know, you wake up one day and you kind of go, well, I want to go there, and I still want to go there, of course. But it was just, that was my way of getting there, is to write it.
So your books were very cathartic for you, like my writing is for me as well, especially during COVID.
Oh my gosh.
And so is your main genre romance?
Well, I do a little bit of both. So I love cozy mysteries. And for me, cozy mystery is the romance is there, but it's off the page. The romance, that's where the sexiness happens or whatever.
Yes, you want to hear about the sexiness. Lots of sexiness.
But I made up an entire town in the Florida Keys because I love the Florida Keys. And that's where I created Saddle Key Mysteries. So that's the other book here. And I created this cute little town where a lot of mystery happens there. So there's murders but I always I put
And sex.
and sex, but they're off page. So I put my tagline on it is a little mystery, a little romance, and a little key lime pie. So I love key lime pie. So now I gotta, have a whole, I think I'm
sister
gonna bring
loves
key lime pie. I should
lime
have brought
pie.
a pie with me.
Oh, we could have put that in here too. There's too many things to remember, right? Well, I love Meet Virginia so much. And Meet Virginia, is that like, there's a song by Train, right? Is that where you take some of your inspiration from? Because I love Train.
I love Train.
Me too.
And I thought it would be kind of cute to have the main male character sing the song to her a couple times, which she does, and they dance to it, and I loved that.
And I could picture it. And when I hear the song now, I always think about your book.
Oh.
So I have a quick question.
Yes.
Is any of your stuff autobiographical? It sounded like a little bit with the thing with the keys and how you and your husband have
a little
been
bit. I do have one book that's like really autobiographical, and that's Niagara Falling. And in that book, it's a romance, and it's got dachshunds in it because you'll probably see I am a dachshund lover, so I've got to have dachshunds almost in every book. There's one in the Saddle Key Mysteries too. And it's a character that she meets an older man. I'm married to an older man.
I see the parallel. I've got it.
Who was married once before. My husband was married once before. So
there's the book.
There's
there it
the
is.
book. So
Okay.
so
Yeah.
I wrote that book. It was really difficult for me to print it though, to put it out there, because you're putting yourself out there when you put books that are very similar to.
And now I'm
yourself.
putting you out there because I just told all.
But I love
Sorry.
that book. I have a lot of fun reading that book because I love Niagara Falls. And
Beautiful there.
George and I have never been there together, so I always want to say, we have to go there one of these days.
Does George know that he was written about,
yeah.
sort of, in the book? He does. I didn't even think to ask that earlier.
I tell him afterwards, honey, this is kind of about you. And
That's like in my poetry book when I said if any of these, if any of these poems sound familiar, they're probably written about you. But I didn't say it in a nice way like you did. So how many books have you written? You've written a lot of books.
Yes, 21, as a matter of fact. So since June of 2020, I've written 21 books. And then I also have 3 box sets. And those are when I put together like 3, because in my Saddle Key Mysteries, I'm up to 8 books already in the Saddle Key Mysteries. Matter of fact, I'm at 10 because I have 2 little mini books as well. I put 2 little mini mysteries around the holidays. I put those in there as well. So I don't know. I just keep writing, and like right now I'm writing a book.
Where
as
do
a matter
you
of fact.
find time to write? Because I know you have a full-time job, correct?
Yes.
So how do you find time to write? When do you
can we
write?
off camera? No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's during work
Oh,
hours.
no. It's okay. I didn't even put that in the questions. I just thought about that one.
No, I'm kidding you. But sometimes you can, I try to write. I try to write on the weekends. Believe me, that's an easy time to do it.
Yeah.
I wake up in the morning, and I have all these, because mine come from a dream. So I'm in my dream, and then I wake up. I got to go write that down. And
You're able to wake yourself up
oh
to
yeah,
do that?
and I
That's
have to
hard
go.
for me.
I have to go run to the computer and write it down like right away. So
See, I can appreciate the book so much now that I know that. I mean, even more than I already do. So what are some of your favorites that you've written?
Well, Meet Virginia is my favorite book. It is my absolute favorite book, and I think it's because it was my first. Always your first. You love your first. But I also love One Way Out, which is the first book in the series in Saddle Key Mysteries, and I think the reason why I love both books, it's because they're the first, and it's just there's something about those
Special.
Special.
You were in a different mindset too,
Oh
probably,
yeah,
when you wrote them.
definitely. And
So
I'm a
what
different-
about, not to interrupt you,
Yeah.
but I'm going to for a second. Can you tell everyone about, because these 2 books sort of go together.
Yes, they do.
So I'll let you talk
So
about
this is
that.
the sequel to Meet Virginia, is Owing It to Him.
See, I knew that would
And
happen, but that's okay.
I caught it. It was good catch. So Owen is a character from Meet Virginia, and he is the brother of Virginia's. I can't spoil it, so I'm just gonna
Yeah.
say he is the brother of Virginia's husband, And so he has his own little travels where he's trying to find himself as well. And he does it all for his brother, and that's kind of I think it's a love story for the brother, as well as it's a love story where it's a second chance, because he doesn't realize that he has a daughter. And I loved that part of the story.
I was crying through the books. But I have to be honest with you. I have to get off of the sad part for a minute.
Yes.
I just kept picturing the really good-looking men.
Yes.
in both stories. I just had a picture in my mind of what they looked like the whole time that I was reading the books. And I was hoping one day that maybe that would happen
Yes.
for me, like on a plane or something. Don't want to give away the book, but, I was thinking that maybe an Owen,
Yes.
exists somewhere.
He's
You
out there
never know.
somewhere, right?
He's got to be, right?
And he was another character, like for me, I loved his character so much in Meet Virginia that I knew I wanted to create more of his story. I thought there was more to him.
Yes.
And I knew that once I did that there's probably more stories out there. I have more stories.
There's
to
little
do.
stories in both stories,
Yes.
and I saw them, and I was thinking about you'd probably do that. So where can we see more of you and purchase your books?
Well, I have my own website, SheilaFowlerAuthor.com. You can always I'm also on Amazon as well, 'cause that's a good thing. You can always find me, Sheila Fowler. I am the only Sheila Fowler. Sorry.
And you also have like a book club or
I
something.
do. Well, we're going to be having an event in St. Augustine. I am so excited about this. It's called Tropicon, and it's going to be in St. Augustine. It's going to be in the historic district. There's going to be 80 authors there. I
Wow.
mean, this is
All
incredible.
romance authors or different?
Romance. There's paranormal. There's mystery writers. I've gotten to meet so many authors through this. It's been so exciting to see them, and I meet them on Facebook, and I go, oh, I can't wait to meet you in person. It's just going to be so exciting.
You're so lovely.
And there's a matter of fact, there's an author there. Her name is Sheila Kell.
Oh,
So
another
we're
Sheila.
We're gonna go, oh, it's the two Sheilas. So we're gonna have like a little fun thing there.
You have to wear a shirt.
We should just have the Sheilas.
They could play the Oh Sheila song
Yes.
too in the background.
And if you go to, I think it's Tropicon.com, if I'm not mistaken, bookexpo.com, and you'll be able to get information there. Tickets are free to get in, but if you want a VIP ticket, it's only $30, which
That's
is
not bad.
Not bad at all for a 2-day event. That's not bad at all.
There's a great picture of Sheila at one of her book events with all her books. Could we bring that clip up? Look at this gorgeous picture of Sheila. Look at that huge smile.
Aw.
And she's even sweeter in person. So look at her display. She's got her display there. She's got, I think the jewelry and accessories is on that
Yes,
one. Maybe not.
yes.
And I heard that your dog helps you promote your books. Is that true? He's not on here,
No,
Hoagie,
but I do have a picture of Hoagie too. He does. So, with social media, yeah, it's good to have visuals. Oh, there he is. That's Hoagie.
He's such a sweetie. I haven't even met him yet. He's
He
looking
is so
right
cute.
into the camera too.
He gets angry with me sometimes, but this is the time when he's very happy to promote my books. And I always say that.
He
"Hey,
doesn't
look
come
at
with the
him."
books though. You can't buy him, right?
It would be funny. That would be. No. We
He's
can't
so
do that.
cute though.
He's adorable.
So I know that sometimes you have book giveaways.
yes.
Do you have any book giveaways going on
I
right
do,
now?
as a matter of fact. I do have. I have what we call it in the business an advanced reader copy. So I have an advanced reader copy right now through Booksprout. And if anybody is a member of Booksprout, you can go into Booksprout and you can look for me. Look for me, Sheila Fowler. And I do have a book right now. It's called Two Hearts Beating. And that book, another it's a really, I call it my romance with a lot of heart. And it's about a young girl. She is 16 years old and she has a heart condition and she needs a new heart.
Oh, don't tell us too much.
No, that's part of the story. She needs a new heart or she's going to die.
Oh.
And at the same time, there's a gentleman and his wife, and they're driving
Oh
to the
my
airport.
gosh, I love it.
They get into an accident and his wife dies, but he donates her heart.
Next book for me.
That is,
Definitely.
I love that book so much. I want more people to read it because
wanna read it.
It is such a beautiful
I mean, I'm
story.
not that great with sad stories, but this sounds like something that I want to read. But, and I have to go back to the whole like, sex thing
Yes.
and hotness,
Yes.
for romance and for February. And there's a very hot thing happening. And it goes right in line with football. That's very big right now.
Oh,
We're not going to
yes.
talk about Taylor Swift or any of that stuff.
No.
But so can we get to that spicy part?
Of course.
Because there's a great picture that they might, if they're not sticking with the show right now, they will be sticking with
Oh,
the
yes.
show in a few minutes.
Oh, yes.
They see this picture.
So
go
this
ahead,
is going to be
Sheila.
my next book.
Yeah.
Now, this one comes out March 11th, and it's called Instant Replay. Oh, gosh, there he is.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, get your towels out. I know I am.
Okay, so this is our cover model is Keith. And Keith, I met Keith at Flirty in Tampa
Sorry, you
last
can't
year.
stop staring.
I know. Look at his eyes. You can't stop
His
staring at
eyes.
him.
I'm looking at everything else.
He is such a sweet person. I saw that picture
In the flesh.
in the flesh, but I saw that picture through Christopher John, who's a photographer, and I wrote to him. I said, I want that picture for my cover.
So
want
he's
that
not.
picture.
He's not in the sports. He's a model.
He's a model,
behind, but he doesn't play
No.
in the sports.
No,
Okay.
but-
But the story is predominantly about football.
Oh, it is. It's all about football, as a matter of fact. So it's
all those sports he
there's
has.
another, like it's a second chance romance. I love second chance romance. I find those to be so much fun to write.
So with your
and-
male audience, I know you have obviously a predominantly female audience,
Female, yeah.
but with a male audience,
I think they would
be
love
into
it
the
because
book?
I do have a lot of sports lingo in it because
Yeah.
I am a huge Miami Dolphins fan.
see, I'm not into sports, so I can't say anything. But
So my characters, she is the head trainer for the Miami Dolphins, and he is. They were boyfriend and girlfriend back in high school, and he left dramatically, and left her pregnant.
oh,
Yes, but didn't know. He didn't know she was pregnant. So he goes to he was playing for the Detroit Lions, and the Lions traded him to the Miami Dolphins.
this is getting so good.
It's so good.
So Sheila, I'm having so much fun talking to you. We don't have a lot of time left,
Okay.
but I do want to make sure that they understand how they could get in touch with you if they want to see more of your work.
Yes.
Some book events that you'll be at, how they could get to your book club. So could you give them that information again?
Sure, of course. I am at SheilaFowlerAuthor.com. You can also find me on Amazon. If you just search for Sheila Fowler, I'm there as well. All of my books are located on Amazon, and if you have a Kindle Unlimited account, all of my books are located on Kindle Unlimited, so that means you can read them for free. There's my books. I do have currently all 21 on there, and I love that. I love that.
That's a
love that.
beautiful display.
Yeah, my husband set all that up for me. I love that.
And he got you the.
He got me the little octopus there. Too.
That's really cool. That's the stand. That's one of the bookends.
Yes.
It's holding it up.
Yeah. We found that I think we found it at Home Goods or something. We had to get it.
One of the things I also like, I meant to tell you about your books, is that you can read the font. Like sometimes I'll read a book and the print, and I'm getting older, so my eyes aren't that great. So, but the print is, you can see it. Like you don't need
Yeah.
a magnifying lens.
I love
it's
that,
very
too.
comfortable. It's like I don't know what font you use, but it's very comfortable.
I love
kind
it
of
too.
font.
I love that. I don't know. For me, it becomes a lot bit easier for me to read as well. Even in the Kindle, I can read it a lot
Yeah.
better because I do see some Kindle books that are really.
I haven't
small
gotten to
font.
that yet, the Kindle. I can get it on my phone, but I like the feel of the book and turning the pages. I think I'm a
yeah.
little old-fashioned like that. But your books have a good vibe to them.
Thank
like
you.
They sit on my bed, and I get to them when I can, and then I stare at them, and I feel guilty when I can't read them. But I have so many in my list that I want to read. I'm just going to have to,
Aw.
make the time to read them. But so what are your future plans for writing? Are you going to do more romance novels? Are you going to do any other type of genre?
Yeah, so this year is my sports romance year. So I have 4 books planned this year in sports romance, and I'm going to do the entire series of Miami sports romance. So I've got that kind of set for me. I'm also going to do another book in the Saddle Key Mysteries series as well, and that'll be number 9 in that series. So I don't know if you noticed, but all of those books are all titled. I go One Way Out,
Yes.
2 Hands to Hold, three-piece suit. So I everything is 1, 2, 3. I kind
I
of
like
makes it
the
easy for me.
symbolism. Yeah, no, I like it too. So, some of our audience members might be asking for the phone number for the really good-looking model. So, is he married?
I don't know. I don't think so, though. I didn't.
I might have to get into football. I might have to ask Freddie to teach me some stuff about football, or Josh, because I really don't know a lot about football. I know the team's names, but it's hard for me to sit that long and watch it. But
See, then you'll have to read the book, and you go, "Oh, I love
I might have
football
to do
now."
that. That might. If he's on the cover, I might just have to get the book. It's very possible. So February is all about romance, and Sheila, so happy to have you on my show.
Thank
You'll
you.
definitely be seeing more of her. I won't tell you how, but you will somehow. And you'll have to read some of her books, at least, meet Virginia and owe it to him, and then get involved with some of the mystery ones. And she's just one to watch out for. She's wonderful. Thank you so much for being on the show today. I know we're going to see more of you somehow. And I wanted to basically talk to everyone and to tell you that, don't be sad if it's February and you don't have a significant other, because, you can be your own Valentine. I won't go into I can buy myself flowers song, but hey, it's there, Make yourself feel special, Get into your own gypsy spirit, your own gypsy soul. Buy yourself flowers. Go into a beautiful room, do writing or singing or dancing, whatever makes you happy. Whatever way you can, embrace your gypsy soul, just do it. Because you have to thrive, not just survive. And again, I'm so happy to be with you guys, especially in the month of February. Thank you for letting me share my poetry with you and for sharing Sheila. And I can't wait to see you again in an alternate Thursday. You have a great night. Bye, everyone. Have a good one.
Thank you for tuning in to Gypsy Soul. Make sure to stop by next time for another enlightening show. A show that was produced by Ant Media Productions and hosted by Denise Marsh.